This information, a Catch Charter School recruitment fair, plus music and healthy snacks. And it's all free at the KBLA Talk 1580 Community Health and Wellness Fair, Saturday, November 8th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Audubon Middle School in Lamert Park, 4120 11th Avenue. Come out and bring the entire family. And if you have not yet checked out our KBLA Health and Wellness Hub, you should at KBLA1580.com. KBLA Talk 1580 thanks Catch Charter School, Prudential, Eastside, Cedars-Sinai, and St. John's Community Health. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that a healthy community is a thriving community.
That's right, baby.
Mr. Bombastic. We want is a bombastic, romantic, fantastic lover. Shaggy. Mr. Lover. Now Mr. Lover. Girl. Mr. Lover. Now Mr. Lover. She call me Mr. Bombastic, tell me fantastic. Touch me on me back, she says I'm Mr. Romantic. Call me fantastic, touch me on me back, she says I'm Mr. Smooth. Just like a silk, soft and cuddly, hug me up like a quilt. I'm a lyrical lover, now take me thin or filled with my sexual physique. You know me well, Bill, do me, oh my, well, can't you tell? I'm just like a turtle crawling out of my shell. Girl, you captivate my body, put me under a spell. With your couscous perfume, I love your sweet smell. You're the young
Welcome
girl
in, happy Wednesday. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And you know, we've been ganging, celebrating the Libra gang all month long. So, shout out Shaggy. We're kind of on the last day. Can you guys answer that for us? Is today the last day or is it tomorrow? I think that it shifts depending upon the year, whether it's the 22nd or the 23rd, where we drop down into Scorpio season. So, shout out to that. Andy?
Hey, I'm repping 2.
We know. Cuss, baby.
Hey, it's going to be S-Gang for the following month.
And you jump, so you're riding with all the Scorpios that are coming up as well.
I
am. Okay. A little duality there. We like that. All right, listen, you are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And tonight, of course, we're getting into some things. We are talking about a potential shakeup for Rihanna's Fenty beauty empire. We'll get into those details. We're also going to be talking a little bit about Bravo and the franchise. Another, not really cast member, related to a cast member, is suing Bravo based off of some things that were said on one of the franchises, Real Housewives of Potomac. Atlanta. It was the Atlanta one. But there's been a couple of suits related. So is the franchise going down? We'll get into it. We're also going to talk about, AI has dropped his memoir, amongst others that are dropping. And we've been talking a little bit about his journey as he interviews and goes on gyms. And recently, he discussed how female fans are a little rougher than the male fans at this point, and they overstep their boundaries quite a bit. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, plus more trending topics and headlines. But before we get into all of that, you know how we get down. It's Wednesday, so we're getting all up in the business. And of course, joining me tonight will be talking to him shortly, Damon Haley, author, strategist, entrepreneur, owner of Glow and Flow Beauty and Slay Hair 3 Ys. So we're going to be breaking down a couple of these topics with him. And so just in time for the NBA season, you talking about Megan manifesting and lining things up. First of all, there's a tweet that's making its rounds from 2011 where Megan Thee Stallion said, you know what, my husband, he'll probably be an NBA player or an NFL player. Nah, probably NBA. right? Fast forward to 2025, and not only does Megan have a new single dropping called Lover Girl on Friday, seemingly inspired by her relationship with Klay Thompson, she also has a little ad going for one of the NBA betting companies. I can't remember which one it is, to kick off the season. You're talking about maximizing potential, right? Your girl's running it up. Megan will get an endorsement deal. Tag the check in. And, she seems to be in love. My man, my man, my man. I like it. I like it. So look out for that. More things rolling out. And shout out to Klay. We'll see what goes down this season. All right. When we come forward, we're going to get into, Michael Jordan made his NBA on NBC debut last night. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about this Fenty Beauty shakeup and a whole lot more. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
How much money you got? 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 A lot. How much money you got? A lot. How many problems you got? A lot. How many people done doubted you? A lot. Left you out to rot? A lot. How many pray that you flop? A lot. How many lawyers you got? A lot. How many times you got shot?
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
With Civic Tax Relief, they were able to save me upwards of $80,000 that I would have had to pay had I not reached out to them.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies.
I owe the IRS $37,000.
They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS. By the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-285-3500, 800-285-3500. Don't wait, call now, 800-285-3500, 800-285-3500.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
On Thursday evening, November 6th, you're invited to the next KBLA Talk 1580 Altadena Town Hall meeting. This time, we're convening at Victory Bible Church, 1497 North Hill Avenue in Pasadena. The town hall will once again be broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580 from 4 to 6 p.m. on Thursday, November 6th. But you're invited to join us in person for this urgent and necessary community conversation. The theme for this Altadena Eaton Canyon Fire Town Hall is understanding the Wildfire Recovery Compensation Fund. The primary focus of this gathering is to inform residents about Southern California Edison's newly launched Wildfire Recovery Compensation Program and provide clarity on eligibility and the claims process. There are plenty of questions to be asked, and only KBLA Talk 1580 has the right moderators to ask the tough questions, the right stakeholders and community activists to share their insights, and we have confirmed the participation of corporate executives from Southern California Edison to answer our queries. So be sure to join us at Victory Bible Church in Pasadena, 1497 North Hill Avenue on Thursday, November 6th. The event is free and open to the public, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. That's KBLA1580.com. Light refreshments will be served immediately following the live town hall. This KBLA Talk 1580 Altadena Rising Town Hall is brought to you by Quinn Emanuel Trial Lawyers and the Black Freedom Fund.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yo, Yeah, yo. Moon la la. Yeah, yo. Better have my money. Y'all should know me well enough. Better have my money. Please don't call me on my blood. Pay me what you want me. Ballin' bigger than LeBron. Give me your money. Who y'all think y'all frontin' on? Like blah, blah, blah. Louis 13 and it's all on me. You just bought a shot. Kamikaze if you think that you gon' knock me off the top.
Welcome in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. You know, we're not just sipping tea tonight. We are following the money. Shout out to Rihanna. B better have my money. Always. Always. So we're going to be following the money tonight, you know. We got Damon Haley in the building, author, strategist, entrepreneur, owner of Slay Hair, 3 Ys, Glow and Flow Beauty, Inglewood and Hawthorne. In the building.
In the building.
We're all up in the business Wednesdays. Welcome in, DH. How are you?
I'm good. That B better have my money sound like some AMG.
I mean, yeah, originally that's where she took it from. We know this.
Yeah.
Shout out to at the time, the 19-year-old teenage pimp, you know, Venice High Zone.
Okay, yeah.
Venice High Zone.
I remember that slogan, but yeah.
Shout
I'm good. I'm great. Life is good.
So listen, if you guys want to get in on the conversation, 800-920-1580, that's the number that you call. Of course, you can hit us up on social media, KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill everywhere. Damon Haley's at Damon Haley. Hit him up. And, you know, we have an app that you can download, catch up with past episodes, or get into the community. Hop into the YouTube chat. Shout out to them. Those are our VIPs. They get it popping. There's always a good conversation going on in there. So, we mentioned somebody better have somebody's money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Rihanna's Fenty Beauty, you know, it's been burning down the beauty industry since she launched. They expanded colors for women of color, black women in particular, deeper pigments, that's the word I'm looking for the colorings, for their shadows and blushes and glosses and more foundation colors. And, you know, Rihanna took off. She put pressure on Victoria's Secret to be more open and inclusive in their body types for the fashion show. All these things that happen in a connection to Rihanna's Fenty Beauty, right? Well, 50% of Fenty Beauty is owned by luxury powerhouse LVMH. If you're unaware, that's Louis Vuitton, Moet, and Hennessy.
And Hen.
Right? And they are reportedly exploring a sale, according to Reuters, of their 50% stake in Fenty Beauty, right? And the company has tapped investment bank Evercore to oversee the process, signaling potential changes for one of the industry's most successful celebrity beauty brands in the world. She kind of opened the door and set the standard now. You can talk about Kylie Jenner and her lip kit. Kylie Jenner is relaunching her beauty and cosmetics thing. We see what happened with Hailey Bieber and her Rhode beauty that was sold to, I believe it was Elf Cosmetics or their parent, which has had an interesting shift since they've been sold, you know. And, of course, we've seen several others, but Rihanna was the one that kind of changed the perception of what a celebrity-driven beauty brand really could be and what that looked like in this new era, right? As of 2024, the net sales were $450 million. The valuation is estimated at $1 to $2 billion, and both reps from both companies declined to comment, right? So, DH, what are your thoughts?
I love it. For one, she did give a voice to what beauty is all about. So it's been expanded, particularly with her foundation. So I think somebody said it's the best invention of our time. just multiple foundations. So women can still use it and then do the face match or do the pigmentation match. So she was very big on that. And then not to mention the fits, you know, in terms of just how we are expressing, not from a humorous standpoint or oversized, but still, I'm going to be big and sexy, or I'm going to be thick and sexy, or skinny and sexy, whatever it is, I'm going to be sexy. And that should be the feel, or should I say beautiful? You know, that's more of it. So for her to come in and really, that's where she really utilized her voice at a time where she was on fire, you know, from a music standpoint, and really amplify different areas because she has the lingerie too, you know. So she really is our most successful, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's worth $2 billion, which makes her a billionaire, you know, on paper. And the question I probably will dig a little deeper is, why is LVMH now wanting to divest? Is there something else they're seeing in the marketplace, or just turning over their investment?
So I think that there's a lot of things kind of happening behind the scenes with LVMH in addition to beauty. I know that there are some of the other brands that they are maybe thinking about separating from or changing. I mean, I think consumption has changed. Also, what we consider success as far as, you know, companies and brands, how they're built, what they look for. You look at someone like Selena Gomez, her rare beauty is doing exceptionally well. We mentioned Hailey Bieber, which was, but now it's not. And is it related to the fad thing, or, you know, it could be a soft split, strategically done. Maybe Rihanna wants more control, or maybe they want less, you know, involvement. There's a number of things, right?
Well, you know, for one, they have stockholders, and it is, what's the future? So somebody might say, hey, you know, like when I was working with Chevron, right, and whenever, you know, those heels, those oil, the oil pumps you see on La Brea and La Cienega, okay, those aren't valuable anymore. They still make money. And so really part of my job was selling those, or saying which ones, because say the internal rate of return might be 17%, it might not hit a 20% hurdle rate, but it's great for, that's how Jerry Jones made his money. He bought old, you know, oil pumps. So I think LVMH might be saying, you know, we're going to get invested in something else, and we're going to use this beauty money in order to do it. So it's probably something along that nature of we've rode it before it starts to decline, or internally we wanted to get it to this amount, and when it gets to a $2 billion, we dumping it. We churn a lot of stuff through our system, so it might be one of them. So that's kind of a game within the game, but yeah, they might just want to use the money on something else.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, like I mentioned, they're trimming what looks to be slower divisions, slower businesses, right? Rihanna is also expanding into hair care as far as underneath it. So maybe, you know, there's a different division. She could be maybe jumping into business with someone like Sephora. There's a number of things that could happen either way. But it is interesting, especially at a time when, remember, like 30 years ago, the big thing was celebrity endorsed perfumes. That was kind of the epitome. You think about Elizabeth Taylor and white diamonds and how she rode that. And there weren't a lot of celebrity beauty brands and makeup lines. And Iman was one of the first, and, you know.
Well, you think of when Halle Berry was really humming, she was aligned with Revlon. You know, so there was more alignment. But now I think
Revlon CoverGirl was another big one with black women.
And we're a lot more savvy now that it's ownership. So now you create these partnerships, and similar to the way that they moved endorsers out of the mix, now companies are saying, okay, we're just not doing that anymore. But I think that, like I said, Rihanna by far, I think, set the standard, and let's give her some flowers because she's doing the lingerie, and so she's really expanding.
She has her collaboration with Puma that she does with the kind of streetwear-ish line.
And we know it's going to not last forever.
Right.
Because most of them don't. Somebody will probably talk about later on. Michael Jordan has been able to make it last like 40 years.
Facts.
Like 40 years. But a lot of people don't, you know, and Rihanna, the way that there's global appeal, there's beautiful women are a dime a dozen, singers, all of that. There's a new wave of them coming. So it just means that, okay, let's max you out, and then let's get out while we can get out.
And get, leave with our pockets lined.
Exactly.
So we have a caller on the line, Morris from Inglewood, and he has a question for you, DH.
Mo?
Shout out to Morris.
Morris
Phillips in the YouTube chat. He's part
Morris
of the community.
Phillips, what's up, baby?
Welcome in.
Brother, I've been waiting for you, young man. I certainly have. I got some questions for you. I believe that Africa is the best investment in the world right now. I don't know if you're familiar with microsonic energy generators. The guy named Maxwell Chikambutsu, he invented that. He went to Silicon Valley, and they told him they couldn't patent this stuff because it went against the first law of thermodynamics. Mm-hmm. He had a partner. They tried to kill both of them, but Maxwell Chikambutsu survived it. With the microsonic energy generator, you got cars that don't need no gas, and they don't need no electrical stuff. So that would upset Western economies all day night. Mm-hmm. Also, they got a thing called the Afternet Internet. Afternet Internet. What makes that so interesting to me is they're talking about digital payments. Take a look at that. And also in Africa, their currency is backed by gold, particularly the AES Bank, not like ours, which is fiat. And you know better than me that the value of the dollar since January has gone down 12%. Mm-hmm. And it don't look like it's going to change. So I'm going to take your comments off the air, and I'm going to get back to the chat room. But do you believe, or can you understand why I believe that Africa is the best investment in the world right now? And thank you very much, Joe, for taking my call. Talk to you later.
I believe it 100%. I mean, I was in Lagos 2 weeks ago. I have dual citizenship in Sierra Leone, so I have access to the 16 ECOWAS states in the economic community of Western African states. So when you say Africa, I'm a little more specific in terms of which country because there's 54 of them. But I believe 1,000% that it is the future because that's where all the minerals are to run all of our electronics. Obviously, is gold, diamonds, precious metals that we don't know about that they're utilizing, in, like I said, computers, phones, all of that. So, Morris, 1,000%, that's where it is. I'll tell you this much. If I was a younger person and wasn't as connected family-wise, and young people and old people the same here, I would probably move there based on what I've seen there over the last 3 years because I've been a couple times. So you on board, invest in it, believe in it because it's happening.
Well, there it is right there. Mic drop, boom. So, slight twist, still related. We've all been talking about all of this. I mentioned that LVMH is refocusing on their high margin luxury segments, right? Mm. And interestingly enough, another place where you see that is as far as the car arena, right? Luxury car, even though car prices have jumped up because of tariffs and a bunch of other things that we've talked about since COVID, right? The sector of cars that is doing the best is the luxury sector. Even within that, we've talked about the subscriptionization, basically, of a lot of our businesses. You're starting to see complaints from people about even down to their cars that the services that you're marketed to that are included, like, I'm just going to say from the basic, we have in directions, turn-by-turn directions, right? They used to be free. Then they started charging for that. Then people were like, I'll just hook up from my phone. Well, now they are charging you to access, for some vehicles, the luxury streams, the bells and whistles. So, you want to know if your oil is low and your brakes? You got to pay a yearly subscription for that. You want access to access your paid-for streaming thing? You got to pay for that. So I think that we are seeing a separation where the luxury items are going higher up, which hadn't kind of been the case in a while, I think, except for some brands. And we're also seeing the subscriptionization of all of our services. Do you think that that plays a role in beauty? Like, do you see that? Do you think people would, for example, do you see something like a Slay Hair subscription box where I get 5 bundles every 3 or 4 months and things like that? Like,
yeah, you're going to see that in 2026, by the way. So I do think that subscription means I got you locked in. And we know that that's kind of a hustle because all of us have subscriptions that we're paying for that we don't even leverage, or they automatically opt you in. So it's kind of a hustle, so to speak, but that's how you get investment. It's called monthly recurring revenue. So if I, as owner of Slay, can say, oh, I have 100,000 subscribers, I can then sell that to get more money, more investment, increase it. So I think that that's part of the game too, and then we want more. I mean, I don't know. For me, I love the technology in my car, but at the end of the day, park, drive, reverse, left pedal is the brake, right pedal is the gas. That's all I really need. And then to connect with my phone. I don't care how the engine works. The light comes on, they'll tell me, what's wrong with it. Hey, why my light come on? They look at the computer and they'll tell you, oh, this part of the engine is leaking, or like right now, it's a little colder. My tires need air.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. So I love that kind of stuff. Now, how much I want to pay for it, I don't know, but we're a glutton for that. We like luxury is service. So we do like more service, So I see it not going away. And it's a markup on that. It's no different than buying liquor from a grocery store and then going to get it at the club.
Facts. We'll put a pin in that. When we come forward, we'll have more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Archaeologists have found dozens of unmarked graves at Tulsa's Oak Lawn Cemetery during the latest search for 1921 race massacre victims.
We have now documented 31 new graves that were not previously recorded or otherwise marked.
2 sets of remains have been exhumed so far. Officials say no direct link to the massacre has been confirmed. Black Congressman Kwesi Mfume has introduced a resolution of inquiry seeking answers on the Trump administration's alleged use of partisan messaging on government sites and emails. He says the actions may violate the Hatch Act and laws requiring federal programs to remain nonpartisan. And a stretch of Great Jones Street in Lower Manhattan, New York is being renamed for iconic artist Jean-Michel Basquiat, honoring his legacy as a visionary black creator who reshaped modern art. Basquiat lived and worked there from 1983 until his death in 1988. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Slow moving on the 10. This is out of Santa Monica. Eastbound delays from 20th Street. You're on the brakes across Mid-City all the way to the 5 in Boyle Heights. Staying on that 10 eastbound, more slowing out of Boyle Heights from about the 5 as you continue all the way to Azusa. Tough in Arcadia, 210 westbound, leaving Santa Anita Avenue. Heavy ahead all the way to Fair Oaks and Pasadena. Eastbound slowing for the 210 out of Pasadena from just about Mountain. Delays and stretches all the way to Foothill Boulevard.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell announced Wednesday morning that the league is not replacing Latino superstar Bad Bunny as the main performer for the Super Bowl halftime show. Bad Bunny was picked in September by the NFL to perform at the Super Bowl on February 8th in Santa Clara, California. Conservative groups and some Republicans have been pressuring the NFL to take the Puerto Rico native off the show because of his criticism of President Trump and Trump's immigration policies. When Trump heard that Goodell is not replacing Bad Bunny, he called the decision crazy and ridiculous. This is an interesting situation for the NFL. Many of the league's 32 owners are privately Trump supporters and have donated to both of his presidential campaigns. The real test for the NFL is whether conservatives can convince advertisers to join them in boycotting the Super Bowl. no debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
You ready?
You're invited to the KBLA Talk 1580 Community Health and Wellness Fair on Saturday, November 8th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Catch at Audubon Middle School in Leimert Park, 4120 11th Avenue. Join us for a day of health, healing, and community connection. There will be health screenings, immunizations, wellness information, a Catch Charter School recruitment fair, plus music and healthy snacks. And it's all free at the KBLA Talk 1580 Community Health and Wellness Fair, Saturday, November 8th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Audubon Middle School in Leimert Park, 4120 11th Avenue. Come out and bring the entire family. And if you have not yet checked out our KBLA Health and Wellness Hub, you should at KBLA1580.com. KBLA Talk 1580 thanks Catch Charter School, Prudential, Eastside, Cedars-Sinai, and St. John's Community Health. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that a healthy community is a thriving community.
That's right, baby.
Donald Trump has all but declared war on California, sending in the National Guard, blocking disaster relief, and cutting funds to our colleges. And now, he and Texas Republicans are trying to rig the next election by stealing congressional seats from black voters in states like Texas.
They want to rig these elections, and they want the power that gerrymandering provides.
Seriously, look it up. But Prop 50 is how we fight back. It gives Californians the power to fight fire with fire and beat Trump at his own game. Prop 50 creates temporary emergency congressional maps that level the playing field and protect the power of black votes. Not just in California, but across the country. Your vote matters, and the whole country is counting on California to lead. So use your vote to protect our power, our history, and our future. Vote yes on Prop 50 by November 4th. Ad paid for by Yes on 50, the Election Rigging Response Act, Governor Newsom's Ballot Measure Committee, Ad Committee's top funders, HMP for Prop 50, and Fund for Policy Reform.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Pulling out the coupe at the lot, told him 12 swat, busting all the bells out the box. I just hit a lick with the box, had to put the stick in the box. Pour up the whole field, I'ma get lazy. I got the mojo deals, we been trapping like the 80s. So, got the cash out,
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. This is Roddy Ricch, right? Happy birthday, Roddy Ricch. Libra gang. Gang, gang. Shout out to them. Listen, you are rocking with me on this good Wednesday evening, and I am joined by Damon Haley, author, strategist, entrepreneur, all of the things in the building. And DH, you said you had a shout out you wanted to give?
Shout out to my boy Marlon. You know who I am, man. I got your text. Hey, man, I'm just standing on your shoulders, man. So I appreciate you, brother.
Shout out to that. Now, listen, we got a phone call that we're going to take in a second.
What?
But before we get into
hot tonight.
We hopping. You know it's hot fire over here. So, Allen Iverson. I wanted to touch on this real quick because, you know, we get deep into our topics, right? AI, he was on a recent podcast, right? And he shared a story about how female fans do not take no for an answer. Now, we're not just talking about in a lustful way. We're talking about even in just, you know, my kid, sign this, be this, take a picture, right? He said that one fan didn't take no for an answer even when he was trying to feed his daughter. You know, what he basically said was, I love women. I love all my fans, but women fans, they don't like taking no for an answer. He said he just, you know, was like, I'm feeding my daughter. Give me 1 minute. And the lady cursed him out and told him, Kobe better than you anyway. Let's hear a little bit of what AI had to say.
I love all my fans, but women fans, they don't like taking no for an answer. You know what I mean? Dude tell you no all the time. But me, somebody you don't know tell you no, you go crazy. In a minute, I'm feeding my daughter right now. Well, you then AI, Kobe Bryant better than you anyway.
God
you know what I
damn.
mean? I'm gonna burn these shoes. I bought your shoes. I bought your jersey. I'm like, I ain't say no. I just said let me finish feeding my daughter. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's crazy. I remember I was at Dave & Buster's with the kids. I'm on the phone talking to my mom, and a lady walked up to me and she was like, AI, let me talk to you. I said, hold on, ma'am, I'm talking to my mom on the phone right now. What, your mom more important than your fans? Yes. I was like,
Jesus Christ.
What kind of question is that? I was like,
like,
let me just get away from you.
So I just for a second, y'all, these people are human. I know it might be your only shot to see them, but just be a little kind. That's all. Just be a little kind. All right, we got, you know, it's close to that time. We're not quite there, but close enough. Welcome in, Eric from Carson. You got some commentary for DH this evening. Eric, what's on your mind?
Happy hump day, Jill.
Same to you.
E!
What's up, DH?
You tell me.
So I got a question for you. You were talking about the monthly recurring revenue.
Yep.
And it's ironic because I have one of my good friends I went to college with. You sound like him, and your personality reminds me of him, and I wanted the opportunity to tell you that, and this created it. And so he has a Amway business in addition to his 9 to 5. And he's been devoted, tried to pull me in years ago, and I just wasn't interested in, I think it's pyramid type stuff. But I told him I want to support you as a friend. So I bought something. I don't like their products at all. It's in bulk. It's non-name brand, but I still supported him. And I bought something twice. And then he told me recently, I want you to support me, and I would like you to purchase a monthly recurring item. And so I was like, why would I do that? Why would I do a monthly recurring service of something that I don't even like? And that's how I got to support you. So I just want to ask you, what do you think about purchasing something, buying something that you don't believe in, to support anybody for any reason?
Well, yes, you should. You should support your friend. He has a small business. You should support him because somebody cares about that product. So I buy stuff all the time for friends. Now, I might not like it, but I'll give it to someone, right? Little kid came by, selling chocolates for uniforms and all that kind of stuff, and I thought it was legitimate. Well, I took the candy and I gave it to the next person. So I wanted to help that young person and not kill them, in terms of their ability to sell me, to get support from somebody like me. So I would say that if you believe in your friend, you bought it once, and now it's just finding somebody to give that Amway to. So find somebody who needs that product and that you'd want to give that person and gift that person, and just help your friend and help that person. And now you're in contribution to two people, as long as it doesn't exceed, any budgets and that you may have and stuff like that. So I do that from time to time. At my store, I have a loyalty program. It's a loyalty program because I want to reciprocate how people support me. And you don't get it anywhere else, particularly a lot of times in our neighborhoods, the big box retailers or what have you, but it's just my pledge to reciprocate. So you might not like it, the product, but somebody does, so do it and help two people.
I appreciate the commentary, and I'll just close out and just say that I told him, let's sit down and you sell me on why I should have a monthly prescription for something. And so just so I'm clarifying, you're saying get a monthly prescription to support, give it to someone else if it doesn't kill my budget. That's what you said?
Yeah. It's your homeboy, right? So it's your homeboy. You want to support him. Okay. And it's somebody who needs that product. If it's shampoo, conditioner, if it's an oil, if it's a whatever, they do that all the time. They do it with socks, ties. I get sold that, socks and ties. Let us give you 2 or 3 socks a month. Let's give you a tie a month, stuff like that. You just give it away, if you want to support your boy.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Probably just saved the friendship. Thank you.
Cool.
Appreciate
Love
your call,
that.
Eric. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics and headlines. Shout out to Urban Spinster in the chat. When we come forward, more trending topics and headlines.
Your ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Open enrollment is your opportunity to choose a plan that connects you to Providence's comprehensive healthcare network. Choose a plan that includes Providence and gain access to a dedicated team of highly trained primary care physicians and specialists. From nationally recognized doctors and hospitals, Providence ensures quality care is always within reach. When you choose Providence, you choose after-hours care through our nurse advice line, urgent care, or virtual express care. You choose 24/7 access through the Providence mobile app to message providers, request prescription refills, schedule appointments, check lab results, and more. This open enrollment, prioritize your well-being with the peace of mind that comes from choosing a provider that values excellence and compassionate care. Don't just choose a plan. Choose a plan dedicated to health equity and community engagement. Choose a plan that believes health is a human right. Choose a plan that delivers exceptional care and cares about your community. Choose a plan that offers Providence. Visit chooseprovidence.org to learn more. Established in 2020 during a time of deep racial unrest across our state and country, the Black Freedom Fund was created to make sure that leaders and organizations working to support Black communities and build power have the resources they need to stay in the fight for the long haul. We believe that those closest to the issues impacting our communities know best how to solve them. That's why in just the last 5 years, we've granted more than $45 million to over 200 grassroots organizations across California. That is the largest collective investment in Black organizing in history, and we're just getting started. We are clear-eyed and committed, more now than ever, to our people, our power, and our possibility. Join us in creating a future where Black people harness their full power to shape their lives and realize a just world for all. Learn more at fundblackfreedom.org. That's fundblackfreedom.org. The Black Freedom Fund is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. You know, just your average Wednesday, talking about things, life, money, stuff like that. So let's get into Bravo's latest legal drama for a bit because, you know, we're watching in real time cable, streaming, all of these things change, kind of going back in some ways to what feels like the old model that we were trying to escape with streaming as these streamers continue to condense and raise their prices. Certainly feels like cable and what we were trying to escape and more commercial tiers within it, right? But we're also seeing a change in programming. We know people aren't watching traditional programs like they used to in the same order, in the same way, right? And we've seen a lot of lawsuits popping up. So new cast member Kelly Farrell of Real Housewives of Atlanta, her husband, Shavalo Mark Farrell, is suing Bravo and its producers for defamation, claiming false abuse allegations and theft allegations have destroyed his reputation, right? Basically, he and his, I guess their estranged wife, took a loan for a restaurant, Nana's Chicken and Waffles, in 2022 for $420,000. He claims that Kelly misused the funds, then fabricated a he stole it storyline for the show. So he is seeking $100 million in damages plus $100 million in punitive damages, right? And he's alleging that the producers knew the claims were false, but went on to air them anyway. We also saw something similar like this with, I believe her name was Britt Eady, on the previous season, where she said that she knew that the photos that Kenya Moore were claiming to be her, or production knew that it really wasn't her, but let the situation play out for a storyline. She left the show and sued. This is the third major Bravo adjacent lawsuit in 2 years for high amounts of money. The question is, if they'll settle, how long will the network keep pretending reality TV is unscripted? And do the fans really care at this point? And is it going to become too expensive? The whole turn towards reality TV that took place in the 2000s was a perfect storm of two things. One, just the expensive high cost of scripted per episode and where it was going in the 2000s with salary and things of that nature. And in 2007, we had another writer's strike. Mm-hmm. And I believe it was briefly, I don't know if we got that far with the Screen Actors Guild as well, but kind of the similar perfect storm that we are coming off of as of late. So is it coming to a point where, you know, reality TV is too big for the room? NBC Universal is under scrutiny. They had a lawsuit from Below Deck, another one of their reality shows, Vanderpump Rules, which was alleging unsafe work conditions and manipulation. So the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise kind of struggling. And, you know, I don't know. OG exits, stale storylines, legal baggage. What are your thoughts, DH?
Yeah, I've been on a couple of reality TV sets, and it's been pretty close to home. the producer are just trying to get a story. They're trying to get storyline. There's always alcohol. There's always instigation. There's things like that. And there's always straight up lying, And so I don't know if, there might be some settling of this kind of thing, but I find it hard if the producers are going to kind of stretch the truth and you cut it, you sign releases and things like that says that, you good. You take the money, you good.
You have no recourse.
You have no recourse. So I think that there, obviously there are some feelings. People don't want to be their character questioned and all that kind of stuff. But I find it very hard that a court of law, given you signing away everything, that they'll win, so to speak. So I don't think that's going to happen. But I think it puts the management or the leadership or the executives on alert to just reel in some of the producers. Don't be so wild, don't be so irresponsible.
But let me ask you, because the flip side of that is, do the fans respond? Because, I've worked on a couple of reality TV shows, got a couple of credits now. But do the fans respond? Like, I always hear stuff where people say, oh my God, I hate, for example, we use Basketball Wives. I hate that show. None of the women are really with the men. They're not there. We want to see what real basketball wives do, right? But do you really? No. And that's my question. Do you really? Is it sometimes, but is it that much different from what you're seeing with these women? Maybe, maybe not, depending upon who it is. And isn't that more special than a series? Because if you only want to see the highs and not really the struggles or the senses, does the audience really want to see just good points and positivity? I guess is sort of my question.
No, we don't. We want to see the train wreck. We want the drama. That's what it's really all about. That's why most of the wives in all of that series, they're not even married. It's just part of the game, so to speak. So, but I also don't think that fans care. They just want to be entertained. It's like a rapper. You rapping about a lifestyle that you don't even lead, but you just want to be able to bounce to the beat and identify with the lyrics and keep it moving. So yeah, I don't think fans care, but at the end of the day, somebody feels that their character is being, drugged or dragged or whatever the right word is, and that's why the lawsuits come, because somebody's feelings were hurt because that's not really me, or you took me way too far.
and I mean, I do think that it can impact business and things outside of it. I often ask when I talk to reality show people, ones that, weren't previously in entertainment, how is this impacting your real world job? Do you keep it? And if it's early, they're like, no, I don't want, and they're there, but eventually you'll find a lot of them end up leaving those roles because it's kind of difficult to be in these scenarios, these exaggerated or whatever they are, and then go to work in the real day-to-day and people take you seriously.
Yeah, so DV, my wife has been that, and she has been very good at maintaining her brand and maintaining her integrity. And so she even said, hey, there's no way we're doing something on our lives. I speak my mind too much. She told me that. She said, there's no way I'm putting cameras on your butt, And so I think that, but when you're out there, you're struggling and you want to be famous, and then all of a sudden you see the price it pays, it's not cool. It's not a good look. And I've been around them, and I know some of them get that that's just a character. Yeah, it's my real name, but that's just a character. I do that so I can keep, because I don't have another choice.
Right. It's the heightened version. So.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, listen, DH, is there anything else you want to touch on before we wrap up for the evening?
Yeah, we didn't talk about MJ.
That's right. I forgot. I mentioned that.
MJ.
So, what were your thoughts on MJ's debut last night on the NBA on NBC?
When I just stepped back, I love seeing MJ back part of basketball, for one, because he's been gone for too long. I do hope that they produce his segments better and set him up for success, because I don't want him being normal. I still want him to be extraordinary. I still want him to be MJ 30, 40 years ago. And so it was a good intro. I loved it. I enjoyed it. But
do you think Mike Tirico is the right pairing for him? Because I don't.
No, he isn't. He isn't.
That's no shade to his broadcasting thing. I just don't think he has the flavor, the essence to bring out.
Yeah, he's a good broadcast guy. I don't know if he's a good one-on-one guy. Like, I would love MJ on All the Smoke. Like that kind of energy, player to player, a little edgier, because that's who MJ is.
And that'll bring out that side of him.
Yeah. Think about it. But both of those guys had on dark suits, white shirts, no tie. Come on.
Boring.
Come on.
Boring.
But for the first time, it was cool. I was just, yes, he's back in the mix. But I hope that they have a story arc. They still give him the hero archetype and still kind of set him up with good stuff so we still love him, not just a little, but still love MJ.
And give it something interesting. Andy?
Where's Ahmad Rashad at?
Oh yeah,
bring him back. His boy, are they cool anymore?
Yeah, he's still hanging.
They still rocking.
Ahmad's old, you know.
Yeah, no, we need somebody, at least 40, right? Give it some that can tap into, keep the old generation satisfied and satiated, but be able to talk that stuff to the youth and make the connection and the bridge, because that's sometimes what's missing.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that NBC will go Mike Tirico on a one-on-one.
I am too, but did they feel like it's prestige, I think? Because if you look at that crew, there's not a lot of broadcast experience from that perspective to lead that. Listen, thank you guys for locking in. Check back in tomorrow, each and every Monday through Friday. You know how it is, 6 to 7 p.m. We'll be back tomorrow with more trending topics and headlines, pouring the hot tea, keeping things in context. Coming up next, the voice of reason, Zoe Williams. He's going to hit you in the head with all of that logic. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Tongue-tied when the truth is an object. What's the pros and the cons of this next check? Wasn't nobody round, I was independent. In a 97 bomb with the windows tinted. Heard a bomb got a strap in the potty. Who the f*** like this in the party? Beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. I was seeing double in the projects, mad at myself, learned to put it to the side. Mama had to cater for the coupe that we rode at the school on the way to pot pies. And wanna play both sides, just a red dot, don't get on the wrong red eye. It's a headshot, they became woo them guys. Brown and buried two of them guys. I'm OD in Paris, I'm OD in France. I thought that I told you I need the advance. Put down your IG and look through my lens. A million to grandma, who did I offend? The girl of your dreams to me is a fan. I netted 10 million and did a little dance. I'm f***ing the world, I ends in my pants. My Uncle G told me that I had a chance. So then
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Cincinnati police are investigating KKK flyers found in several neighborhoods, sparking outrage among residents. The flyers included hate messages and a link to a